Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546, and look at me defying the laws of light and color. For some reason, I can wear green in front of a green screen and not have any issues. I'm not going to complain. But let's get straight into this. Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are having their pro day. Colorado in general is having their pro day right now. I'm not expecting to take much out of it. All I'll say is the entire Giant squad is there. You got the front office, the entire front office, everybody there but pretty much John Mayer, who may be there, who knows. But everybody's there, the coaching staff, all the offensive coaches, and of course some defensive coaches are there just because they have some defensive players. But pretty much the entirety of the Colorado staff is there. And some people are saying like, oh, they're all there because they want to see Shedeur. But I think they also want to talk to Travis. I'm sure they've already talked to him. I'm sure they've already talked to Travis Hunter so far. So that's not that huge of an issue. But I'm sure they're there to see both of them and not necessarily just Shedeur. I've been someone who's been on the I've been on the Shedeur train for months now. Like for months. Months ago, I was saying that Shedeur is my quarterback one. Now things have changed since I've watched more and more and more of the tape. But I'm not going from Shedeur being my quarterback one to all of a sudden we should just pass on him. I just still don't understand passing on Shedeur Sanders. Now, if you don't think he's that good, that's fine. That's fine. But I think he's pretty good. Now, do I think he's the best quarterback in the league? Can he ever be the best quarterback in the league? With amazing anticipation, with amazing preparation. I mean, like Hall of Fame level hard work ethic. Sure, maybe he could be. But I do think he can be a guy that can be a top 8 quarterback. And not for me, that's enough to compete with. That's enough to compete. We all want the guy who can be the best quarterback in the league. We all want a Patrick Mahomes. We all want a Justin Herbert. We all want these guys that have the talent that's just so ridiculous that at any time, you know, if they can all put it together, they're just an unstoppable force that could be the best in the league, just on just pure talent. We all want that, but let's keep it real. Are we going to get that? Or is it realistic to expect that every year you have to take a quarterback? Whenever you're taking a quarterback to lead your team, he can't be the 8th best. He can't be the 9th best. He can't be the 7th best. He has to be a top 3 quarterback. Because look at what Justin Herbert has won in this league. Look at what Josh Allen has won in this league. Now look at Jalen Hurts. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. Maybe, you know, now he's been to 2 Super Bowls because of, you know, accomplishments. You put him up there. But I think Jalen Hurts is around like the 11th or 12th best quarterback. Maybe you put him higher, maybe you put him lower. But at the end of the day, most would argue that Jalen Hurts is between the 8 and 12 range. Now, some people would say that's because they have the tush push. That's because they have the athleticism. Sure. But what I'm saying is if you build a team around a quarterback who is from 8 to 15, that quarterback is going to have you in the dance over and over and over again. 2 things come out of that. One thing is say, okay, well, Diggy, if they're building around the team, then maybe you take Travis Hunter, or maybe you take Abdul Carter, and then you take a 2nd round quarterback. I'm fine with that, but I do think that Shedeur is a head and shoulder better prospect than every other quarterback in this draft, not named Cam Ward. I have Cam Ward above him just because of the upside, and because I don't think there's that much difference in the level of play right now. I think Shedeur may be a bit better right now, but because of the tools that Cam Ward has, he ended up, you know, edging Shedeur out. But beyond that, Jackson Dart, I mean, come on. Jackson Dart is not going to be, I don't think he's that much, I don't think he's that type of guy that's going to be a top 5 quarterback. And we've seen the guy break down and cry in Joe Judge's arms on the sideline. I'm just not prepared for that. Jalen Milroe was a guy that's very intriguing, but at the end of the day, Jalen Milroe, he has tiny hands. He cannot throw the ball accurately to save his life. And I was thinking, okay, maybe we can correct that. He does have a lot of mechanics issues, but with the small hand, that may be part of why he can't get enough spin on the ball. The ball in the NFL is bigger than the college ball. So I'm concerned about that with Jalen Milroe. And then you got guys like Quinn Ewers, who very talented, but very inconsistent. And then you got my guy, Tyler Shuck, who I've been preaching Tyler Shuck forever. And I see people are coming around to him. Because for me, Tyler Shuck is right behind Jackson Dart, if not better than Jackson Dart. He can move. He can throw. He has a rocket arm. Tyler Shuck is the guy that you take if you take a guy that you want to develop. But back to Shedeur Sanders, I think he is clearly the second best quarterback in his draft. And if you would take a guy at 18, if you would take a guy at 11, I think you take him at 3. And I just saw KB's video, Kid Blue, shout out to Kid Blue. I just saw his video saying that argument is dumb. I understand this point because you have a much better player. You know, if you have Shedeur ranked at 18 and you have Travis Hunter ranked at 1, it makes sense to go after Travis Hunter. But at the end of the day, if Travis Hunter is a Hall of Fame corner, if he's a Hall of Fame corner and he is, you know, a guy that's just a Pro Bowler every year, at the end of the day, that corner is never going to be more valuable than an above average starting quarterback. I'm sorry, folks. I would take a guy like Eli Manning, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, but was a Hall of Famer because he stepped up in huge moments, which I think Shedeur has the ability to do. And this isn't me saying Shedeur is going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be Eli Manning. But Eli Manning stepped up in huge moments. And Eli Manning, for the most part, was a quarterback who was between maybe 4 at his highest and 12. I think he was always towards the top, but he was never a guy that people would say clearly is the best quarterback in the NFL. But because we took him and because he stepped up in those big moments, he was a winner. And I would take Eli Manning over taking Darrelle Revis any day of the week. And Darrelle Revis is miles and miles and miles better player than Eli Manning was. But you get what I'm saying. A Hall of Fame corner is not as valuable as a much less accomplished quarterback. So I would just lean towards that first. And then let's explore Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, I'm very scared about taking Travis Hunter. And I'm not necessarily scared because I think he's going to be a bad player. I'm really scared about the durability. Now, he hasn't had a ton of injuries. He's going to have to put on some weight, though. Because if he's going to play both sides, even if he's going to play cornerback and wide receiver packages, I'm worried about the durability. All of that aside, I'm just really worried about that the whole two-way position thing. So it would have to be a package thing. It would have to be, you know, he plays 15 to 20 plays of wide receiver or even less. And then, of course, mostly corner. But then, you know, then goes the musical chairs. I think if we take Travis Hunter, we're pretty much giving up on Deonte Banks. Because I don't see Deonte Banks as a slot corner. Why would he sit Drew Phillips down? So is he going to be rotating with Travis, give Travis a breather, and, you know, Adebo's on the other side? Because you're not pulling Adebo off the field for a rookie or a third-year player that's unproven. So I think at that point you're giving up on Deonte Banks. Now, should you? Maybe just give on Deonte Banks. But at the end of the day, I'm just concerned about the fit there if we really need to take a corner. Because just think about it. If Travis Hunter ends up not being able to do one of these positions that he's playing, are you going to take the best wide receiver in the draft at number 3? Are you going to take the best corner in the draft at number 3? I mean, is that position worth the number 3 overall pick? And this isn't me saying it isn't. It's just, let's think about it. Let's think about it. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to be on both sides of the field every single play. And if he is, I'm concerned about the durability. But, I mean, listen, I'd be happy with either player. This is just me kind of playing a little bit of devil's advocate with Travis Hunter. I think he could be a game changer. You know, he's got ball skills at wide receiver that are top of the class. So him playing corner gives us a huge advantage for him going up and taking the ball away, which we haven't been able to do. Adebo on the other side is good at taking the ball away. Holland in the past has been good at that. So if we could get that sort of an impact on the defense, I'd be excited. But I think it's going to have to hurt Deonte Banks, because at best he gets rotated in. At best he gets rotated in, or he hopes for someone to get hurt. But him at corner 4, pretty much, because he's not playing slot. I mean, I'm kind of not ready to give up on Deonte Banks, but at the same time, if you have a chance to get a Pro Bowl Hall of Fame corner and you don't like Shedeur Sanders and he's, you know, maybe he's not there, then maybe it's worth just going ahead and replacing him. Maybe just go ahead and replace him. So that's just some of me thinking about this since they have this pro day today. I'm sure the Giants will probably be much, much closer to making their decision going forward for whoever they're going to take between those two players, because I think it's going to be a debate. I think they will be looking at those two players at number 3, because I think Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter will end up going at number 2. I think Cam Moore's going to go number 1. So they're going to be either choosing between Shedeur and Travis Hunter, or Shedeur and Abdul Carter. And it's all about what they think of Shedeur. If they love him, if they want to take him at 15, if they want to take him at 20, I strongly suggest that you take him at 3, because you never know if you take a guy at number 20, if you take a guy at number 15, if you take a guy at number 25, you think that guy can be a franchise quarterback. So take him. He's going to sit at least for half the season with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston here. He's going to sit for a while. So take the guy if you think he can be a franchise quarterback, and figure out the rest later.